position. And as always, we will start by kind of channeling into our breath. So sitting in a comfortable position, maybe sitting cross-legged if that feels okay. We're just gonna kind of see how we're doing. So if you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to do that. Just allow yourself to feel light. So maybe the hands are resting gently on the knees. Like there's a string attached to the top of your head and it's lifting up towards the ceiling. So the spine is kind of lengthening up. Let the shoulders melt down your back. We'll begin breathing. So go ahead and take a full deep breath in through the nose. And then long exhale out through the mouth. We'll begin slowing down our breath, slowing down our bodies, and slowing down our mind. So do that a few more times, kind of taking some mindful breath in, breath out. And then if there's any gentle movement that will feel good for your body, go ahead and do that. So sometimes kind of going in some circles with the upper body can feel good. And maybe just dropping your chin so that the back of your neck can start to lengthen out. And there's no real right way or wrong way to do this. We're kind of just checking in to the physical and energetic body and just seeing how things are feeling. So we'll do that again with the breath a few more times. So after the inhale, see if you can seal and hold the breath maybe for a count of 3 or 4. So next inhale, big full breath in through the nose. Hold for a moment at the top. And then long, slow exhale out. And do that 2 more times. Feel everything softening and letting go on your exhale. Awesome. Go ahead and gently blink your eyes open. And let's hug your shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale, roll them down your back. So yeah, let's incorporate breath into that. As you inhale, hug the shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, roll them down your back. And 2 more times. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back. And again, inhale, shoulders hug up. And exhale, roll them down your back. Now keeping your hands on your knees, we'll come into some seated cat-cow. So as you inhale, let the heart open, chest lift up. Maybe you gaze up towards the ceiling for cow pose. And then exhale, squeeze your belly button towards your spine, round in the spine and tuck your chin for cat pose. And then letting your breath lead you. So as you inhale, find your cow pose. And exhale into your cat pose. A few more times. Inhale, feel the heart lift up. And exhale, round your spine, draw the belly button in. And one more time. Inhale, let the heart lift up. Feel your shoulder blades wrap towards your spine. And exhale, cow. No, cat pose. And then sitting back up nice and tall. Big inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, come into a twist to your right. So hands are either on the ground, or if you'd like to put your left hand to the right knee, you can get a bit of kind of more of a twist. Right fingertips on the ground. The spine is still lengthening up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, come back towards center. And to the other side, maybe an inhale to reach up. And exhale, twist towards your left. Having a nice, soft, steady gaze. And on your next exhale, come back through center. We'll go one more time each side. Inhale, lengthen up. And on your exhale, twist. Stay here for one inhale, breath in. And exhale, let it go. Come back through center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Awesome. Exhale to twist. One more breath in. Exhale, come back through center. Go ahead and place your right hand down on the mat. Inhale, reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. Really reach through the fingertips, feel the side body opening up, nice. And then as you exhale, reach over towards your right. Feeling that whole left side of your body opening up. And you can drop down to that right forearm if that feels okay. Another breath in. Exhale, let it go. Float back through center. Bring your left hand to the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And on the exhale, reach over towards your left. Notice if the shoulder is starting to kind of like hike up towards the ear. See if you can kind of keep it a bit relaxed, but then also continue reaching out through your right fingertips. Feel the side body opening up. Another breath in. Awesome. Exhale, let it go. Come back through center. All right. Big inhale, reach your arms up. We're going to interlace the hands at the top. And on that exhale, just press the palms up towards the ceiling. Kind of stretch and open up the hands. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, start to bend your elbows and bring the hands to the base of the skull. And kind of just let them cup the neck there. And then as you take a breath in, let the heart lift up. And stay here for the exhale. So the front of the body is opening up a bit here. Kind of getting a nice stretch through the front of the neck, so your throat area as the chin lifts up. Awesome. On your next exhale, go ahead and come back towards center and release the hands down. Let's find our way into child's pose. So kind of coming onto all fours just for a moment and bringing your knees to the edges of your mat, flip onto the tops of your feet. Begin to settle your hips down towards your heels. And begin reaching your hands forward. So we're spreading the fingertips nice and wide. And let your forehead come into contact with something. So either on your mat or maybe on a hand if it's not down on your mat. And as you inhale, feel your spine lengthening out. Maybe your fingertips creep forward just a bit more. Then your exhale, see if you can kind of soften a bit through the chest, the hips. Stay here for 3 breaths. And again, another opportunity to just kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling. See how the physical body is feeling. Notice any areas of tension that you might be feeling today. Begin to press your way up to your tabletop position. So from your child's pose, slide your knees in a bit closer towards one another so that they are right underneath your hips. And have your wrists stay underneath the shoulders. And keep your fingertips spread nice and wide. So the index fingers are at 12 o'clock and the rest of the fingertips are spread out. And soften through your elbows here and just move around from side to side a bit if that feels good. And check in, see how the hips are feeling. And the gaze here is maybe just between your 2 hands, and maybe the eyes are closed as you move. You can find a neutral tabletop position. So We want to kind of press the floor away from us so our core is engaged. Squeeze your belly button towards the spine. And stay active and engaged through the arms. Back of your neck is long. And we'll go into some balancing poses here. So from tabletop, kick your right foot back behind you and flex your foot. You've got your right toes pointing down towards the ground, and notice if we start to like drop a little bit into our shoulders and lose that strength in our core, we want to continue with the core strength in engaging through the arms. So that right leg is really turned on. Maybe you can feel it through the quad as you kick out through the back right heel. Option to stay here or begin to lift your left hand forward. Back of the neck stays nice and long. Your left thumb is up towards the ceiling. And so now whatever is in contact with the ground, really engage and press into it. So maybe the left knee and the right hand. Keep your core active. We'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Stay here, deep breath in. And exhale, nice and slowly. Bring elbow towards knee. Start to round in your spine and tuck your chin. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, kick and lengthen out. And exhale, bring in. So as slowly as you need to go here. And again, inhale as you kick and lengthen out. So kick through the right heel, reach through your left fingertips. And exhale, bring it in. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, let it go, tabletop position. Give a soft little bend to that right elbow and arm that was kind of holding you up there. Any little circles with the hips. And then we'll go to the other side. So starting from your neutral tabletop position. Again, engage through the arms, engage through your core. And kick your left foot back behind you. Option to flex the left toes down towards the ground and kick through that back heel. And then from here, if you'd like, lift this right hand forward. So again, staying active through the core. If you're not sure, you can just use your finger and touch to see if the obliques and abs are engaged. Stay here for 3. Continue to breathe. 2 and 1. Take an inhale. And on an exhale, bring elbow towards your knee. Awesome. Kind of curling in. And inhale, kick and lengthen out. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, kick and lengthen. Awesome. Exhale, bring in. Round in the spine, drop the chin and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, tabletop position. Give a bend to your left elbow, left arm. And why don't we flip onto the backs of our hands here for a nice wrist stretch. So that feels okay. Fingertips facing towards one another. And then coming back towards tabletop. Kind of hook your knees back a bit, and we're just going to drop the hips. And maybe flip onto the tops of your feet. So feel a nice stretch through the spine and through the front of the body. Be gentle through your elbows. Maybe just look over from shoulder to shoulder. All right, press on back, child's pose. So just settling down for a minute before we continue with our practice. And finding your way back up to your tabletop. Slide your hands over to the left side of your mat and bring your right foot forward. And place your right hand on the right side of the foot. So before we sink down too low in the hips, we're going to kind of press into the left knee and the right foot. So The right toes are facing directly forward. Right knee is over your right ankle. So we're not down here yet. We're kind of engaged a bit more through the core and kind of lifting up. So option to tuck the back toes or untuck. And if it feels okay, both hands to the top of your right knee. And you can let the shoulders kind of roll down and back. So we've got a nice open heart. So picture your shoulder blades again wrapping at the spine. And then if it feels okay, both of the hands gently press into the top of your right knee, getting a little bit more of a back bend here. And we're staying grounded down through this right foot and the back knee. And then your exhale, slowly, slowly, just drop a hand on either side of the foot. As you do that, see if you can let the hips kind of melt down too. Maybe feeling more of a stretch through this left quadricep. So the right toe is still facing directly forward, and we'll come into our twist on either side. So begin by the left hand down on the floor, and start to twist. Inhale, reach your right hand to the ceiling. Awesome, exhale, lower down. And to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Ooh, so maybe feeling this all the way from that left quadricep through the almost abs, up through the arm and through to the fingertips. Exhale as you lower down. One more time each side. Inhale brings you up. And exhale brings you down. Awesome. Other side. Big inhale, reach. Big exhale, lower down. Start to shift your hips towards the back edge of your mat and straighten through that front leg. Flexing the toes towards your face, come into your runner stretch. And from here, maybe soften through the neck, letting the head sort of hang heavy. And if this doesn't feel okay, bring a soft bend to your right knee if the stretch is feeling like it's too much. And start to bend in your right knee and let your right foot come to the floor. And tuck our back toes under, leave your hands on the ground, lift the hips up, step your left foot up and out a bit, and then really ground down through the feet. Working on both legs being straight and folding over your right thigh. If this is feeling like it's a challenge with kind of balance, separate the feet a little bit so there's some distance between them. All right, and from here, just step your left foot forward. We'll come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. So the feet are parallel, facing 12 o'clock, about hips width distance. And a little bend to your knees, fold forward, maybe grab opposite elbows for your ragdoll. And really pressing down to all four corners of your feet. And fully letting the upper body just surrender and fall forward. And on your next exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. And let's step back to our tabletop. Awesome, and from here, shift your hands over towards the right edge of your mat. Slide that left foot forward. And bring a hand on either side of the left foot. Left toes are facing directly forward. And your left knee is right over the left ankle. And before we sink too low into the hips, really press down through the left foot into your right knee. We're going to kind of lift in the upper body. And for this, see if it feels okay with your hands on top of your left knee. And here we're kind of hugging energy up and in, just gazing straight ahead. And we're engaged through the legs. And then if you'd like, just a gentle pressure into the top left knee, kind of engaging through the arms, and bringing the gaze up and back, feeling a little bit of a back bend. Take another inhale. And on exhale, slowly drop the hands and drop your hips too. Maybe flip onto the top of this right foot and really just kind of melt into the hips. So gentle movement from side to side. Place your right hand on the floor and we'll take an inhale. Twist and reach the left arm up. Awesome, big exhale, let it down. Inhale to the other side, twist and reach. Feeling a nice stretch through that right side of your body. Reach through the right fingertips. And exhale, release. Other side, big inhale, twist up. Exhale, let it go. And here we go, last time on this side. Big inhale, reach up. Awesome. Exhale, lower down. Both of your hands are on the floor. Maybe tuck your back toes under. Send your hips on back. And soften a bit through your belly, lifting your left toes towards the face. You're going to stretch through the back of your left leg. And then from here, begin to bend in your left knee and bring your left foot to the floor. We're going to send our hips up towards the ceiling. Hands are down on the floor. Tuck the back toes. Step this back foot up and out a bit, and then ground down and anchor down through the heels. You can kind of twist the torso over the left thigh, and then release through the head and neck. Again, if this is feeling like too much, go ahead and bend the knees a little bit. Awesome. Kind of come into a little halfway lift from here, keeping your hands down on the ground. We'll step your right foot forward. Come into a forward fold. Again, softening through the knees and letting the head fall down towards the floor. So from here, you can either come into gorilla pose, slipping the palms underneath the soles of your feet. So to get them all the way under there, really bring a nice bend to your knees. And then as a challenge, you can begin to straighten the legs out a bit. So you're kind of lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Notice how upper body can fold a bit deeper. And then another option from here would just be interlacing the hands at the low back. Squeeze your palms together, and then let your knuckles start to fall forward like towards the front edge of your mat. And this will really open up the shoulders. And breathe. Lovely. On your next exhale, whatever position you're in, let the hands just kind of come free and rest gently on your mat, staying in that forward fold. And how about we come into an inhale, and let's rise all the way up to stand. So really press through the feet, start to engage through the legs, squeeze the belly button in, rise up to stand, and then continue and let the arms and hands lift up towards the ceiling. Maybe you gaze up, and a nice exhale, fold forward. So start to send the hips back, Bend your knees and fold. Inhale, come into a halfway lift here. So again, active through the core, spine is nice and flat, back of your neck is nice and long, heart folds forward. Exhale as you fold. 2 more halfway lifts. Inhale, still pressing through the feet, let the heart lift. Exhale and fold. And again, just gently pressing the hands to the shins. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Do a couple of half sun salutations. So next, inhale, press through your feet, rise all the way up. Again, like it's a nice fluid motion, so the arms and hands lift up towards the ceiling. And then your exhale carries them back down for forward fold. Breath in, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold. Next, inhale, rise all the way up. Engaging through the legs, through the quads, lifting up. Inhale the arms up. And exhale to fold. And 2 more times here. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale as you fold. Big inhale, press and lift. Feel the kneecaps pulling up. Awesome. Exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, lift halfway. Let there be space between your ears and your shoulders. Exhale, fold. Let's drop our hands all the way down towards the mat. Step back to your high plank. So in a high plank position, again, kind of like our tabletop. So shoulders are right over the wrists, fingertips are spread nice and wide, and we're engaging through the core. Always have the option to drop your knees here. So as you inhale, kind of shift forward on the tippy toe, so the shoulders come a little bit over the wrists. And then as you exhale, come back with shoulders right over the wrists. So 2 more times. Use the core. Inhale, shift an inch forward. Exhale, come back. 1 more time. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, drop back. Go ahead and drop your knees down. Drop your hips down. Feel the front of your body opening up. Awesome. So squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs. And see if you can kind of glide your hips forward. So we're kind of building an upward facing dog here. And the shoulders are kind of, again, wrapping down near the spine. So the front of the body's opening up. And as you exhale, flip onto, tuck your toes in, press into a downward facing dog. So bend your knees and let the hips lift up high towards the ceiling. Awesome. So same deal here. Fingertips are spread wide. You're pressing down through your finger pads. Engage through the arms so we can take the weight out of your wrists. And drop your head. So the feet are about hips width distance apart. And then just for fun, take your feet from downward facing dog just to the edges of the mat. So it's like a wide downward facing dog. Let the hips lift up towards the ceiling. Another breath in. Exhale, come on back, downward facing dog. Awesome. From here, let's come into a warrior one. So warrior one, step your right foot forward between the 2 hands. And then we're going to anchor down in our back left foot. So very similar to that stretch we did at the beginning where our front leg was straight and we were folding over, same foot position. Okay, except our front leg is bent. So your right knee is over your right ankle. Back leg working towards straight. If that doesn't feel good, bend the knee here. And we're hugging energy up and in. It's like the ribs are almost knitting together, gazing forward, and if it feels okay, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. And now really cue into the soles of the feet. So we're really anchoring down, and then see if you can sink a little bit deeper. So kind of just moving slowly and gently. And palms facing one another, still reaching and lengthening through the fingertips. Take another breath in. So as you inhale, maybe you come into a little back bend here. We're gonna exhale, bring your hands down towards the ground and step your right foot back so you're in a high plank. And from our high plank, we're gonna go to our low plank. So on the exhale, start to bend your elbows, squeeze them into the ribs, flip onto the tops of your feet. You come into a baby cobra, or you can come into that upward facing dog. So we're kind of gliding the hips forward, straightening a bit through the arms, but keeping a soft bend through the elbows. And on your exhale, tuck your toes, bend the knees and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And big exhale out. Awesome, so warrior one on the left side. Step the left foot forward between the two hands. And go ahead and anchor that right foot down so the right toes are angled up at the top right-hand corner of the mat. Left knee right over the left ankle. Again, spine lengthening up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders down and back. And then when you feel ready, gently lift the arms to the ceiling. Finding a soft gaze in front of you. And then again, noticing if we can drop a bit deeper into that front leg. Staying fired up through the back leg. Gonna press down through the feet on the inhale. Reach up and go back if that feels okay. And then with control, exhale. Bring the hands down towards the ground. And then come into a high plank. So send that left foot back behind. On your exhale, come on down, low plank. Inhale to an upward facing dog or baby cobra. So you've just got the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows squeezing in. Exhale back, come into a child's pose. Really let that spine lengthen out. So reach your fingertips forward and relax your head down. Awesome, begin to press into your finger pads. Tuck those toes, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. From your down dog, walk your right hand over to meet your left, and we'll step our right foot forward so it is on towards the right edge of the mat. So both of your hands are on the inside of the right foot. And we'll come into deepest lunge, so option to drop your back knee, or you can keep it lifted. So we're gonna stay like this. You can also drop down onto your forearms. So we want to focus on the right knee hugging into the right shoulder. And get yourself comfortable here. So either maybe untuck the toes, and again, soften through those hips like we did at the beginning of the class. If there's any strain or holding in the neck, go ahead and let that go. And then if you'd like, press up to your hands. And we'll turn the right toe out to, the right foot out to 2 o'clock, roll onto the pinky edge side of that foot. Now you're getting a different opening here through this right leg. And if you'd like, the right hand can gently come to the top of your right knee, give a little push, only if that feels okay. Feel that opening through your right hip. And then guide the sole of your right foot back down towards the ground. And walk your right foot towards the middle of the mat. So you've got a hand on either side of the foot. Tuck your back toes under, and just for a little counter stretch, shift into a runner stretch. And from here, bend your right knee, bring the right foot to the floor. Tuck the back toes under, lift the hips. We're gonna shift forward into an airplane pose. So keeping the right foot grounded down on the floor. Adjust the hands so that you feel supported. Lift the left heel up. So supported airplane, you've got some fingertips on the ground here. You're using the core and you're pulling your heart forward, almost like we were doing in the halfway lift. And option for full airplane, really ground down through that right foot. Lift the arms up, fingertips reach back behind. Feel really engaged through this right leg for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, slowly lower down, forward folds. And relax through the head and neck. And from here, inhale, lift halfway, lengthen out your spine. Exhale and fold. And inhale, press through your feet, we'll rise all the way up. Bringing the arms up overhead. Big exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, lower your hands down, step back, high plank. Take a breath in. On the exhale, lower down, low plank. Use the core, squeeze the elbows in. Flip onto the tops of your feet. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. So sliding the hips forward. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Nice stretch out. Bring your left hand over to meet your right hand, and we'll step your left foot forward. Coming into deepest lunge on this side. So left toes facing forward. You've got the hands on the inside of the left foot. Focusing on squeezing your left knee into your left shoulder. Option to drop your back knee. And then notice on an exhale if there can be any more letting go or melting through the hips. And then bringing your left foot back down to the ground. Start to walk the left foot into the center of the mat. So you've got a hand on either side of the foot. And then send the hips back. Come into a nice runner stretch. So it's like someone's pulling the hips back, yet your heart is still kind of pulling forward and folding over that left foot. Awesome. Start to bend in your left knee. Bring the left foot to the floor. And tuck these back toes under. We're going to shift into that airplane pose. So we're going to stay on the left foot. And again, hands can stay down for support. See if you can flex the right toes down towards the ground. Really kick out through the back right heel. So the quad is turned on. And your right hip is still angled down at the ground. So if you feel your right hip opening, that is a different pose, half moon. So we want our hip bones pointing down, using the core. Hands are either on the floor for support, or maybe you've got one reaching back behind you, letting the heart pull forward. So working on a nice long spine, back of the neck is long for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, forward fold, lower it all down. Nice work. And from here, bring your right hand in between the 2 feet. Start to bend your right leg straighten through the left. Twist and reach the left hand to the ceiling. Awesome. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. And shift your sides. Left hand between the 2 feet. Bend your left leg, straighten through the right. Really press through this right leg. Still have a soft bend through the knee. And a twist up, reach the right hand towards the ceiling. Awesome. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. And from here, really start to bend your knees, and we're just going to come down to a reverse tabletop. So bringing your kind of thumb to the floor and then hands behind you. Knees are staying bent. I'm going to press into the feet, press into the palms. Lift the hips up. So maybe keeping the chin tucked in. And then exhale, lower it down. Awesome. Let's lower all the way down and bring your feet up to the ceiling for waterfall. And let the back of your head just rest nice and heavy on the mat. And from here, bend your knees and squeeze your knees and shins in towards the chest. Maybe wrap your arms around the shins. So press your low back down into the ground. Keep your right knee hugging into your right shoulder. And extend your left leg long so it's going towards the front edge of your mat, and we'll shift into a spinal twist. So squeezing that right knee in as you inhale, and then as you exhale, guide the right leg up and over. Rolling onto the lateral edge of your left leg, and maybe keeping your shoulders down on the ground. Softening your gaze either towards the ceiling or right to your right fingertips. And then gently switching sides, so rolling back towards center, either going right to the other side or pausing for a minute as you squeeze both your knees in. And leave your left knee hugging into its left shoulder. And straighten out that right leg nice and long on the floor. Big inhale. Awesome. As you exhale, twist left leg up and over the right. And nice and gently coming back towards center, we'll come into our final resting pose for a moment. So fully surrendering here, letting the body kind of just flop and melt wherever it feels good. Closing the eyes down. And maybe you start by focusing on the breath and then just kind of letting yourself and your mind gently drift off. And taking a full deep breath in through the nose. And a slow, full exhale out through the mouth. Bringing those gentle movements back to your body, fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. And then in your nice little pace, go ahead and find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Either keeping the eyes closed or just gazing forward. And just notice how you feel from 45 minutes ago when you were sitting in this exact pose. Hopefully a little bit lighter. Let's take a big inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling and press the palms together. And bring the hands towards heart center and relax your shoulders. And while you're here in this peaceful, focused state of mind, say something that you are grateful for. And taking a full deep breath in, clearing exhale out. Namaste.